The Boy Who Found the Sunrise. Leo was a boy of 10, but his eyes held the quiet determination of an inventor. In the cold, silent place where he lived, hope was just a whisper, but he kept it close. He wore a simple, marked garment, but he clutched a tiny, bent hairpin, a secret gift from his friend Mila. "It can unlock anything, Leo," Mila had promised. Leo didn't know what anything was until he saw the camp's large, canvas-covered truck parked near the tall wire fence, waiting for a delivery. A very big, very loud idea sparked inside his clever mind. Leo had learned that the tall man in gray loved two things: his shiny boots and being important. Leo straightened his small shoulders and approached the guard, his heart beating a brave rhythm. "Sir," Leo said, his voice ringing with false importance. "I have a spectacular, world-famous performance," Leo announced grandly. "A special show for the leader's birthday. I need the truck for the props, a magical, self-propelled stage, and my 3 most important assistants." The tall man laughed, a cold, short sound, but the thought of a grand show amused him enough to agree. Leo had already chosen his assistants, gentle Lena and her small, observant daughter Elara, and quiet, strong Asher, who, like him, all wore the distinctive patch of their people on their clothes. "No tricks, boy," the guard warned. They were led to the truck, their wrists quickly locked in cold, heavy shackles. The metal was a chain, but Leo smiled inside. It was also a perfect distraction. As they walked, Elara leaned close to her mother. "Mama, Leo is holding his hand like a secret pocket," she whispered. Lena just squeezed her daughter's hand in a silent promise. "Trust him." The 5 of them moved toward the truck as one quiet, hopeful unit. Beside the truck, the tall man was busy. He had a stack of papers, a cargo manifest, and a pencil to check off every box. He liked checking boxes more than watching prisoners. Leo gave a sharp, subtle nod to Asher. Now was the moment. Hidden by the truck's massive tire, Leo pulled out Mila's bent tiny hairpin. It was small, but he treated it like a magician's wand. He slipped the wire into the keyhole of his shackle. He held his breath. Click! The tiny hairpin was a miracle of metal. Leo's heavy shackle fell open, and his wrist felt a sudden, wonderful gust of fresh air. He quickly moved to Elara, who watched his hands with the wide-eyed focus of an apprentice. He quickly freed Lena, then moved to Asher. Asher's hand, though older and scarred, gave Leo a strong, silent squeeze of thanks. The feeling of their 5 wrists, suddenly unchained, was a beautiful, invisible victory. The truck's cabin was surprisingly large and dark. Smelling of oil and old leather, they slipped into the back, hiding beneath a stiff canvas tarp. They didn't dare speak, only exchanged quick, hopeful glances. Leo crept forward. He knew the truck keys were in a magnetic box under the driver's seat. He'd seen the driver check it once. Finding them was like finding a buried treasure. He gripped the steering wheel, his arms stretched out. He turned the key. The engine shuddered, then let out a powerful, roaring sound, the loudest, most wonderful sound of their lives. They sped away from the shadowed place, through the dark night, a blur of hope on a winding road. The drive was rough and full of bumps, like a roller coaster powered by pure courage. Suddenly, a pair of headlights appeared behind them, growing larger, and a sharp, angry horn blared. They had been spotted. "A bridge!" Asher shouted, his voice tight. It spanned a wide, rushing river. The truck was too slow for a chase, and the road ahead was blocked. Leo knew their plan had changed in one heartbeat. "We jump!" he cried, stomping on the brake. They scrambled out, leaving the engine running as a loud distraction. One by one, they scaled the small, cold stone railing of the bridge. Below, the dark water churned and rushed, a fast, powerful friend waiting to sweep them away. "Hold tight," Lena called out, her voice strong and clear against the wind. The group counted to 3, held hands for a brief, connected moment, and plunged into the icy torrent below. The water grabbed them, spinning them like playful, icy tops. But the current was their shield, pulling them away from the shore. They kicked and swam until Leo, spitting out river water, spotted it. A large, gnarled piece of driftwood, floating like a sturdy wooden promise. It took all of Asher's strength and Lena's determined kicks to pull everyone onto the floating log. Exhausted, they lay flat, clinging to the wood as they traveled for what felt like 100 miles. The stars came out, becoming their only clock and compass. Alara pointed a small finger at the sky. "Look, Mama," she whispered. "They are tiny silver coins, scattered everywhere." The vast, open dark felt safe, a ceiling far higher than any ceiling they had ever known. Leo reached into his pocket and pulled out the small piece of hard, stale bread he had saved. He broke it into 5 tiny, equal pieces. It was not much, but sharing it was a feast of trust and togetherness. The river sang a low, rhythmic song, carrying them further and further away, a gentle lullaby. The moon, a bright silver boat, floated above the trees, turning the water into a shimmering, hopeful ribbon of light. The moon began to fade, and the rushing current softened to a slow, gentle glide. The air smelled of wet leaves and new grass, not cold metal and smoke. Asher nudged the driftwood toward a soft, muddy bank, covered in tall, swaying reeds. As they stepped onto the soft earth, their tired feet felt the glorious certainty of ground. In the weak pink light of the rising sun, they saw a small painted sign. "Welcome to Österreich, Austria." The whisper of hope was no longer a secret. It had burst into a brilliant, beautiful sunrise.